My name is Johnetta Boone.
Johnetta Boone. And you're down in the District of Columbia.
I am. I actually live in Fort Washington, Maryland.
I've been to Fort Washington.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look like Baltimore. Woo. Gee, that's like, where am I?
PG County.
All right, PG County, wealthiest black jurisdiction in the country.
That's right.
Everybody's been talking, Catalina, everybody's been talking about this movie. What's the movie everybody's talking about over the weekend?
For colored girls.
Okay, well, guess what this lady did? Watch this, watch it. What did you do as it relates to this movie?
I'm the costume designer.
The costume designer.
Beautiful
Yes.
work.
Thank you.
Beautiful work.
I didn't see the movie. Did you see it? Did anybody
If
see
you've
it?
never read the play, don't go into it looking for a Tyler Perry-esque movie. And Zaki Changay is one of the fabulous African-American writers of our time. For colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow was not enough was a remarkable play and book. And if you go into it looking for Medea, you're not going to take the message out of the movie. That it was beautifully done. Everything from the way that they looked to the way that they were able to interwork the dialect of Texas, which is where she's from, in her drawl, and the way that she writes into modern vernacular was beautifully written and beautifully done. Kudos for even being a part of it. I loved it.
Thank you very much.
So tell us, what'd you do?
Well, as the costume designer, my primary function and role is to create the images for everyone in the cast and everyone in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship to the project, as well as the relationship between the director and the cast members, is portrayed in what they wear on screen and how well the audience is able to sort of be consumed by the project itself, and then how well the character is portrayed as a part of the film, all plays a part in the actual wardrobe that they're wearing.
Okay, and this is not the first time you've done this, huh?
Absolutely not. I designed catalog records as well. I did The Notebook, and then I did some other projects called The Great Buck Howard, Fatwa, and some other smaller projects in line with that. And I also did K Street, which was actually filmed in D.C., directed by Steven Soderbergh and George Clooney.
Okay.
When you go into, I don't know how they vet people that do costume direction. I'm a poet and I'm an artist. I know how we look at who we want to portray on the screen, our words, and bring life to them. But do they sit down with you with the script? Do you have as much opportunity to immerse yourself in the character and the way that the screenplay is taking it versus the book to be able to have a clear vision, or did you have to come up with that on your own? Is that all organic, or do you have help?
I definitely come up with it on my own. It is very much organic, and I do have quite a bit of assistance in some cases. In this particular case, I was awarded the project and went through the script multiple times because, of course, I refreshed myself with the book, which was written in the 70s. And once, by doing so, I thought, how is this ever going to become a screenplay? So I had to wrap my head around that for a while, put the book down for a minute. And then once I received the screenplay, I read that multiple times and then dialogue with Mr. Perry with regards to what his vision was. And he, unlike most directors, said to me, I want you to do what you do. And then I began to sort of sit and meditate on not just the images of the women and the characters, but who the women are for me and how they're represented in my life. Because as most women, regardless of your cultural background, you have some relationship to some woman in that story within the whole context of the film and the play as well, which, you know, so then I sat back and started to really think about what that meant and how their colors, because their colors are created in the play as Indashaki portrayed them originally. So I wanted to make sure that their hues, their tonal value was very consistent with the world that they were living in, that the yellow that Anika wore wasn't too bright and sunshiny for the moments that she was going to be passing through, and that, you know, and that the browns weren't too dark. The browns that Kimberly Elise wore, for instance, started off very tan and very light, so no one knew what was going on. And then once it got much more intense, then her colors came down and became more like the bittersweet chocolate brown after her children.
I guess I'm boring, lady, because give me a pair of blue jeans and a white T-shirt and call it a wrap. Jiminy Crickets, there's a lot of thought going.
Like, how do you decide to make Whoopi Goldberg wear crazy socks? When we picture some people that are a part of an alternate faith, and some people call it a cult, you know that from time to time they're in their garb, but there's also smaller pieces that are part of where they live. The crazy socks. The fact that she always had these turquoise socks you could buy on any street corner for $1. just kept jumping out to me. It's like, that is what they look like. The ones that come knock when you're doing good.
Well, that was her contribution to her character. She wanted to make sure that there was something about her character that said that she was still grounded and in the world. And that absolutely separated her from being completely entrenched in the faith that she was a part
Tell
of.
her high five.